Hello and welcome back. We have the back nine coverage from our feature card, round one of the United States Disc Golf Championship. It's big, sexy commentary in the booth again. Myself, Nate Sexton, and Jeremy Koling.
The back nine's where things really get interesting. Like I said, in the front nine, 7 of the easiest 9 holes are on the front.
Yeah.
So you can just do the math. I mean, things are going to get really tough here. Hole 10's not the toughest hole in the world, but it can be if, I don't know, if you get away from your shots.
Any hole that's stroke and distance is going to play tougher than it appears in the scoring averages, just because you don't get to advance at all on this hole if you go out of bounds. You just have to keep throwing that same shot as the pressure just mounts up. So it gets tough.
And Eagle is definitely a play here to go straight at it. It always has been, but I don't really want to deal with any of that noise. I'm trying to just play a safe sidearm.
Trying to do something Nate taught you.
Yeah, maybe Nate Sexton taught me this. Maybe he didn't. I don't know. No, I definitely got this play from you. If I ever laid up before, it was a lot shorter than that. But I like that full throw sidearm and get myself to a place where I can throw a mid-range approach to the green.
Yep. And Paul going for the Eagle, as you might expect. He's got his destroyer locked and loaded. And wow, this has great height.
Yeah, higher than I've ever seen anyone ever attack this hole. But he's got so much power.
This is an ace run almost.
Yeah, he has no problem getting inside the circle, and I'm sure he's a little bit ticked off that he went for Eagle on 9 and missed his putt. That time he's going to put himself a little bit closer.
Yeah.
And Eagle is going for one of those Eagles, and that doesn't really have a chance.
No, that turned over really quick. That is way out of bounds, and he's going to have to go to the drop zone.
You want to get a little bit of flex riding down the tennis court line for a little bit, but that's not the way to do it.
Paige playing a smart putter shot. She's going to set herself up for a backhand driver across the out of bounds. This is a big pressure shot here.
She's got so much power. She commits to that shot perfectly. And look at this.
Wow.
Look at this. Just right, almost in the bullseye.
I think this would be her first birdie.
Yeah, I think it may be.
If she can connect.
She had some long looks.
Eagle
in the front
goes
nine.
Big out around the outside. Is it too far? Yes, it is. And he will have to throw again from there. Now throwing 4-5.
And this is that time when you, we were talking about this in practice, when you start getting dizzy. Like,
yeah.
What's happening? Like, is this really happening right now?
Quick. Like you're thinking, okay, I made one mistake. I'll get my par. And then you throw OB again, and then you sort of, I've had a feeling, a wave of dizziness come over me, just like, what just happened? Did I just throw everything away right here? Or, it just, these holes, stroke and distance is so powerful.
Right.
You can, if you don't have your focus just perfect, you can get in big trouble.
Oh, and here's this putt for Eagle, and
wow,
almost spits out the backside. But a great eagle there. There were only
awesome.
4 on the day. Ricky Wysocki eagled it. Paul McBeth, obviously, Leo Piernan. And the surprising one, not in terms of distance, but surprising in that Kevin Jones birdied or eagled 9 and 10 back-to-back.
And 13.
Yeah, well, spoiler alert, we haven't got there, but he eagled 999. They've changed the name from 888 to 999 this year.
Unreal.
And Paige taps in her first birdie of the round of the tournament. Excellent second shot. Pays off for the layup putter approach.
Yeah, that's great birdie. Eagle's going to have to settle for a double bogey 6.
And this is really where we test what you're made of.
Hole 11, super long par 4, 734 feet. I think it was Greg Barsby who was saying during a practice round he doesn't feel he's ever played a harder hole that doesn't have a single tree.
Yeah, well, The trees actually do come in play this year if you elect to go for the big roller shot. And they'd never come in play before because this hole hasn't always been hazard rule. But now that you play where you wherever your disc lands,
yeah,
now those trees can come in play. But you're going to see McBeth unleash a destroyer here. I mean, this is all of 550 feet.
Yeah, he was doing this in practice. This shot is huge. He's reaching up into the roller zone with that air shot. It's incredible.
I'd say maybe not 550, but close to it. I mean, that could be 550.
Yeah, I mean 730. So yeah, in that 500 to 550 range with out of bounds everywhere.
And I'm going for a roller here. I'm throwing a destroyer. I'm trying to keep this thing as far down the hill as possible. Just hooks back up the hill, and it is going to roll in bounds, but it hits the stake and redirects it back OB.
Did you know that had happened?
I was told.
Oh, man, but I was going to make it back.
That was the first time I actually seen it in person. It kind of bites now to see it. But
I saw that shot in person as well, and I was surprised when we got up there to see it out of bounds. I felt like it was going to be good. Now that explains why.
And Eagle is going to be rolling the PD2 that he threw on his drive on hole 8, which is crazy to me.
Wow.
But if you got power, I mean...
This has got heavy cut on it. It's got plenty of power, but look out. Oh, that is so fortunate.
He jumps
the tree
back
and he's inbounds.
And that's huge. They opened up that landing zone this year to entice the big shot that we saw from Paul, to entice the roller that we saw from Eagle. I was trying to go down there myself, wasn't able to commit to the shot as much as Eagle was. So I mean that's a huge reward to be able to get down there. You're going to be able to see the whole basket and cut off so much distance, which has always made this hole so difficult. And this is only the second time I've really been faced with adversity so far, and came up with a pretty clutch shot to put it about 12 feet away.
Definitely, very nice shot. Eagle with a great birdie opportunity here. Just needs this thing to not roll. This is a scary angle.
And it's got to sit. And it sits.
Okay.
That got the crowd going. We all thought that had a chance to skip up, and especially when it flashes the chains like that from our angle, it looked like it may have been able to draw metal. And speaking of May being able to draw metal, Paige, we thought that was another one that could have drawn metal.
And that's the mark of a pro from Paige. She goes putter, putter, putter.
On 700.
Into the bullseye with OB everywhere. She draws up, wow, Paul almost rings it as well. But Paige just draws up that plan. She's going to play within herself, and just to execute that shot through the wind, OB everywhere, the pressure of the gallery. That's pro moves.
And Paul connects on his seemingly very easy birdie with that incredibly huge tee shot.
That does make it easy when you're that far down the fairway.
And a little
germ for par here after the hazard penalty.
Just keeps it over the rim. Walk away with a happy par there. This is a hole that has played a lot harder in the past. When you had to go to where you crossed the OB, this hole was very difficult because you could end up throwing the same shot over and over again.
Yeah.
Never coming back in bounds, and it kind of relieves some of the stress that you feel on this course by having the rule play that way, but I also think it allows the course to move a lot faster, so it flows better.
Yeah. Hole 12, downhill 901 feet. This is a par 4. It was once a par 5. Nothing changed.
Nothing changed.
But it makes sense as a par 4. As discs have gotten faster, players have maybe gotten a little bit better. But it is a bruiser. And this one is another one where you do not get to advance. You're going to play from previous spot or drop zone on OBs.
Yeah, and this is the third hardest hole in the course in terms of scoring average. And, I mean, it makes sense when you have 900 feet.
Yep.
And OB and drop zones and stroke and distance and all that.
Yep, this is a crush. Past the drop zone is huge, and he does that by quite a few feet.
And skips up the hill, which might allow him to see the pin. When you're down there in that trench, you can't see the pin, which makes trusting your distance for the second shot so difficult.
Yeah. Oh, Eagle has gone huge here.
And this is the same disc he just rolled on hole 11. I mean, just showing the versality of the angles and just crushes that.
That's about as far as you can. anyone can throw it in the air to the bottom of that ditch.
I've seen somebody roll it past that.
That can be done.
That someone is you, in case we don't have history buffs watching today.
I have had my share of good rollers on this hole.
I'm just throwing a Thunderbird here, trying to throw a good bit of pace behind that, and anywhere up near the drop zone, I feel like I can trust my distance for that shot.
Why not a destroyer?
I just feel a little bit more comfortable with the Thunderbird. I feel like I can throw it harder, and there won't be squirrely turnovers. It pretty much wants to stay straight.
Well, Paige is going to try to punish you here with a fast rim driver. Try to get just past Germ. Does
Sorry,
she
Paige.
do it?
Sorry, Paige. You're going to be throwing first.
Not quite out driving him. It was close.
From the tee, she threw more distance, but
This is a huge shot. If she's going for this, uphill over OB the entire way.
Look at this.
This is 400 feet uphill over OB.
she's put a huge move on it, and she's gone too far.
Wow.
She's outdrove the hole.
Incredible shot.
I'm going to say that was 440 feet.
It's in that neighborhood. That is a full shot.
And I'm going Thunderbird here. I'm just like, all right, don't get outdone by your mixed doubles partner here. And the Thunderbird checked up nicely, and that's a good feeling there. So we got two shots already putting here.
And then now you move down to the seriously big drives, because these guys are at least 50 feet closer than you.
Right.
Maybe 100 for Eagle.
And Paul has the backspin, but that's not going to go anywhere besides on the green.
Perfect.
Hit in the bullseye right by those bricks. Anything could have happened. If he had been a foot higher and skipped off those bricks, he may have gone OB.
Yeah.
And Eagle's throwing his little Spike Heiser approach.
Oh, yeah.
He as well hits in the bullseye, stops about 15 feet behind the basket. And Paige, the furthest away, just outside the circle with her birdie putt.
Oh, wow.
I have to imagine that's the first ever female birdie on hole 12, or 3 ever.
Who else?
Well, Katrina's playing in the event.
Yeah.
And Des Redding and Julianne have played the event as well, but they didn't have the distance that Paige has.
I think it has to be.
And we're
in competition. It's got to be the first.
Oh, for sure. And Eagle has made his birdie, and we've got one putt left for the elusive star frame.
That's pretty amazing.
And it is in, folks. We have a star frame on hole 12.
Wow.
That's a rare feat right there, especially on the third hardest hole in the course.
That is incredible. Great play from the group. Here we are. The infamous hole 13 was once called 888. Now we can call it 999, or I don't even know how you're going to say 1111.
Yeah, 1111, I guess.
But yeah, it's a redesign this year. So what used to be inbounds is now out of bounds. They've kind of swapped. So I think the hole plays better than it ever has. You're going to have to stay left of the path. Actually, the path itself is safe, but off the tee, left of the path. Then either are you going for Eagle on the island in 2, or are you going to play another shot up the narrowing fairway?
I completely agree with you. I think that this is the best this hole's ever been played in terms of you have a fair landing zone now off the drive, more of a natural fairway than we've ever had before in this hole. Last year we teed off from a similar area, but we still had to go into the narrow strip across the grass.
Yep.
Between the road and the sidewalk. And now this year we have the much wider sidewalk is actually inbounds and all the way over. Actually, there is no OB left. So
yep, the woods are fair game if you like them.
And it kind of begs for a driver tee shot to be able to put yourself in the Eagle position.
I agree.
And I think this hole is certainly playing easier than it ever has before.
Whoa, this is getting away from you.
Yeah, that turned over just a bit more than I'd like. I would have liked to seen the full flight, although I'm not sure if it would have ever came back.
Yeah, it's safe, though. That's a good break, just to fall down safe.
Yeah, got a great kick. I'm fortunately not having to surrender any distance or strokes. And Paige has put a huge move on this as well. She's right up there with Eagle and Paul, who throw pretty far.
Yeah, some people have said that.
And this hole is only playing as the 7th most difficult hole of the day. You take that any other year on this hole, and this is 1, 2, or 3 in terms of most difficult, just because the numbers that people are taking with the stroke and distance is huge. This year, the rule has changed that anywhere you go OB on the fairway, you actually get to advance to where you were last in bounds. That's the first time we've ever had that rule adjustment on this hole.
Yep.
It's always been stroke and distance or whatever rule there was unanimously played across the course.
Looks like Paige has found that left woods. So she may have to pitch out from there. Paul getting aggressive, looking for the eagle across all the OB parking lot, over 400 feet.
And he's going to need to avoid the curb and just barely gets over the curb. I mean, 2 inches left, an inch left.
He threw that so hard it went through a concrete curb.
Yeah, it actually went underneath the top edge and took off some of the concrete.
And the Eagle's got a lot of hyzer on this, but it's way safe.
Yeah, he's well on the green in 2, and that just takes away all the nerves on this hole. I mean, to have a long look at eagle and be able to just pitch up for your birdie, it's pretty awesome.
And this is a clutch moment here. You're trying to get across and still have a chance at birdie, even with the poor drive, and it looks like you're going to have more than a chance.
Yeah, I decided to go with the Thunderbird there just for the controlled distance, and that was probably about 420 feet or so, and I'm really pleased with the result, obviously.
Yeah, fantastic. Paige pitching out smartly there.
I really didn't even have an option to go across the green.
And then this will be this is her 4th shot. Need to get this close to save par. It looks like it's going to drift on her, though. She's going to have a long putt. She's proven she can make them.
Yeah, it's the second time we've seen that putter just drift off a bit high left on her. And let's see if she can make the putt to save her par.
Eagle doesn't even look interested in taking an eagle there. He's just going to take a bullseye birdie.
Boring.
Paul from a little closer for the eagle.
Certainly interested in eagles. And just swings around the backside. And that's the second eagle putt we've seen him miss today.
Just left for Paige.
And she was surprised that she even caught chains, but...
Nice birdie there after the short drive. Pretty incredible to get up there and still make birdie. Paul with an easy birdie. Anytime you're missing eagle putts, you're playing solid golf.
Yeah.
Even just to have the opportunity.
I mean, he's 2 down on 10, 1 down on 11, 1 down on 12, 1 down on 13. Mm-hmm. He's making moves.
Mm-hmm. Big time. Eagle with the bullseye birdie. Makes that hole easy when you're on the island too.
Yeah, no kidding. 5 down through 4 holes for Paul McBeth on the back 9 so far. And he's taken I guess he had one stroke lead coming into this hole.
Hole 14 is a downhill par 3 coming in at 413 feet. Hazard everywhere left of the sidewalk except the small bubble of safe area around the basket. It can be a tough hole, but it's one you're thinking birdie.
Yeah, if you have a forehand, this suits very well for the way that the hillside is sloped. It can get pretty fast for backhands, especially if they have any hyzer angle whatsoever. Paul's going to be throwing a rock 3 here. And he's turned it over a little bit more than I think he'd like. It needs to slow down, though.
Whoa.
Needs to slow down, and it does not. Because unfortunately, it hits the concrete and slides OB, just barely jumps the curb.
He's had luck with the concrete there.
And that's going to be a dangerous par putt.
Yeah, definitely. Here's Eagle with that big forehand. Wow, so high.
And I didn't think this had a chance of getting the distance, but he's got so much power behind that shot. And he is just barely in the circle, but man, that's so much power to be able to throw 413 downhill that high.
That's crazy.
And I don't really know what happened here, but I just didn't throw it.
Just a destroyer and just didn't come out with any speed?
It was a Wraith, actually.
Okay.
But yeah, I was in between discs. I actually been throwing my Sexton Firebird on this hole and not having any problem getting the distance, but I went with a faster disc and threw it slow instead of throwing the slower disc and hitting it fast.
Yep.
And that was a mistake that I made there.
Yeah, going to be almost certainly a bogey from there. That's a long way for you to try to make it, but, we'll see what you got.
I've made putts from this distance before, but
That's
just kind of a
good bid.
Just a little bit of a half run. Kind of scared that if I draw a medal on that hillside, that anything can happen. Definitely. A bogey you can live with. Double bogey, it's kind of hard to swallow that.
Yeah, and if you were to roll there, it's likely worse than double.
Yeah, for sure. And Paul, that was kind of a half-hearted bid there from him, but that's such a scary putt from where he was.
Eagle with a chance for the lone birdie.
And just enough wind to make it interesting, just enough slope to make it interesting. He connects on a solid birdie putt.
Nice putt.
And that elevated basket, man, with that downhill slope, that is just such a gut-wrenching putt.
Yeah, it is. Paul in for the bogey. Paige is making some moves up the tee box order with a par here.
Oh, yeah. They had a count on how many times, I don't know if it was a bet or what it was, but she was counting every single time she was not Bob on the card. And she kept reminding me every time she wasn't Bob.
Hole 15, 539-foot par 4, another triple Mando. This Mando is about 260 feet off the tee. You've got to throw something very hard, very low, and play the multiple skips around the corner to really find a good landing zone.
Yeah, the only other option I'd say for a right-handed player is perhaps a flick roller. I've certainly gone with that in the past. I know you have as well.
Yep.
But with this triple mandatory this year and last year, man, it makes this tee shot, which is already so difficult, even that much more.
Yep.
And that's just unbelievable.
Wow.
And actually gets a really bad break that he wasn't another 50 feet past that tree, let alone 30 feet short of it.
Yeah.
I mean, he put such a strong move on that shot. And Paige is throwing kind of conservative. I'm pretty sure that is the deputy she's been throwing. And she catches a branch and stays short of the mandatory. She has not missed the mandatory.
Well, that's better than it could be. This is a crush.
Yeah, Paul has just put everything behind that. And he avoids the trees, unlike Eagle, and he's going to have a relatively safe sidearm approach from there.
Nice.
I'm just trying to get the Thunderbird up another couple more feet. I got through the triple mandatory, but that's not necessarily the greatest place to be. Even if I was about another 10 feet to the right, I'd have a little bit more of an angle to attack. But here I'm going to have to figure out a way to avoid these trees with a flick roller.
It was a good shot we saw from Paige.
And
that couldn't have gone much worse.
It couldn't have been any worse. I mean, it landed upside down and hit the mulch, so it slowly skidded another 5 feet.
It shouldn't hurt you too bad, but it's certainly not what you were wanting.
Yeah, well, with the bogey on 14, now I'm thinking, all right, I have a pretty difficult up and down at this point.
Yep.
And bogey, 14, 15 is unacceptable.
No, you can't be doing that. Nice little flex. Can it stay high enough? Yeah, that's a tester, but you have an open putt, don't you?
Yeah, well, if you call going between two trees open, then yes, it's open.
Open by hole 15 standards.
Yeah, the thing is you want to land on the right side of this pin here, or left side of the pin. If you finish right side where you're seeing Eagle go, forget about it, layup. There's just really no way you can even find any creative routes through there. So left side is way more open, and unless you're straight in line like Paul is, that's a pretty open putt as well. But these crate myrtles are just crazy over here.
Eagle, forget about it, man.
Yeah.
Whoa, he would not forget,
right.
And he nearly actually made that.
Color me shocked.
So you're going between?
I have to go between.
Between those two skinny ones?
Yeah.
Sweet.
Oh, no, not between the two. Between the two trees.
Okay,
not between.
I got it.
Yeah, there's no. Yeah.
Oh, I see. That one's behind the
it's a little bit of an optical illusion there.
Still amazing. Great putt.
It was a huge putt at that particular moment, for sure.
Oh, that was going to be such a good save from Paige.
Yeah, you can see that was a pretty disappointing letdown there. And but these trees, I mean, it forces a lot of low putts. I mean, Eagle's proven me wrong on many different aspects on this putting green so far, but it really does force you to go low, because the last thing you want to do is have any sort of comeback putt coming back on this green. There's so many random trees that it's just difficult to avoid having a strange 15-footer.
Yeah, absolutely. Paige in for bogey.
And this hole is one of the several holes in the course that averaged over par. Averaged about 4.2 for the day, almost 4.3. So you can see, I mean, not many birdies. There were only 24 birdies in the day. About 25% of the field got it.
Hole 16, 396-foot par 3. Hazard everywhere, left, right, anywhere you want to land. You just really have to throw either an up-the-middle backhand that goes perfectly straight, or perhaps a forehand out around the outside. You can't saw it off, and you can't straighten it out.
Yeah, the tunnel gap actually has opened up a bit over this last year, and it certainly is enticing a lot more straight shots. But I think we're going to see the players who have the ability to throw forehand high and wide are going to go with that shot.
This is too high, though.
Yeah, and he's caught it seems like anything that catches these trees up here.
Probably good. I would think he'd be pushing the hazard without any trees there.
I agree. I thought that he had it a little bit too high, a little bit too tight. And Eagle is throwing this.
Scary, too, because this straightened out.
Yeah, it flipped up a bit, but it looks like it could skip. But he gets the...
No.
And he actually landed inbounds and jumped backwards. He's in the hazard.
How does that even happen?
I mean, sometimes when you throw those really wide rim discs, they just get these funky skips and bounces. I'm throwing a Star Destroyer here.
Oh, this is tracking. This looks a little bit better.
Caught a little bit of those leaves,
better.
And that is going to be just inside 15 feet or so.
Fantastic.
Okay,
we need it.
I'll take it.
Yeah, this hole is very difficult to park like that. I feel like most people are making edge of the circle putts, and you don't see a lot of easy birdies.
Typically, I'm not getting that far either. I'm usually landing about where you're saying edge of the circle. And Paige is going with the tunnel route, but has turned it over.
This is not good. That's likely the hazard.
Yeah, and drifts towards the hazard the whole way.
So she's going to have a long look to save par. Paul for the birdie.
And he has drifted over the top. Gonna have a little bit left, a little bit of meat left on the bone there.
Yeah. Oh man, just low from Paige.
And I had a bet with Shrubby. I thought she was gonna make that one.
That would be a nice putt.
That's her wheelhouse.
And man, Eagle can't catch a break.
I'm gonna call that a spit out. I feel like that's the worst break. He landed in bounds, jumped OB, and then made his putt, and it fell out. Like,
yeah, that's not nice.
A two-stroke swing against his favor. Paul with the par save there, and moving on up over here to the drive thrown by the guy known as Big Germ.
Nice. That is a great birdie to get coming down the stretch. I never expect to get this one, but every time I do, it's really nice.
It is a great feeling birdie. I mean, it's right there in front of you. It's slightly downhill. You don't feel like you should miss it as a forehand player, but it's a difficult hole.
And yeah, and you can certainly bogey it. It's so easy to find that hazard. Okay, hole 17, par 3, the island hole, going downhill. We are in the A position, I believe, at 249 feet. That's the position farther left, the more treacherous position, really, because it's so close to the out of bounds. If you watched our front nine coverage, you heard us talk about how this lake is filled with liquid hope and dreams. This is actually, these hay bales collect it and it runs in.
Yeah, it's just all one collective trench of just despair.
Yeah, so it looks like water, but it's actually at least 50% hope.
And the mortar is in safely over the hay bales.
Great shot.
And this is the hardest hole in the course every single year. I mean, when I think of hard holes in this course, I think like hole 8. That's a difficult hole, right?
Yep.
This is the hardest hole.
Is easy on paper, but then things like that happen. Paul is long, and he's going to have to re-tee now. Interesting to see him going forehand. This has been a backhand play for him in years past.
And that's got to get some speed here. I think he's thrown it too short again.
Wow.
And he's going to be re-teeing 5.
So this is a nightmare scenario now for Paul. He's not probably missed this hole twice very many times in his career.
I don't think I've ever seen him throw anything besides backhands on this hole. And I mean, his touch is so perfect with that nose up. You see it here. I mean, there's no doubt about that shot.
Yeah.
And I'm really surprised to see him throw a wide rim high-speed driver, the FD3. And
I bet he's done with it now.
I think he'll make that correction for the future rounds. And Eagle with a really safe shot, pretty far out there, and he's outside the circle for the B placement, so he's about 50 feet or so from the pin. But he's safe on the green in one shot, and he'll have an outside look for his birdie.
Big pressure shot for Paige. Let's see what she can do.
And that's the same deputy that she's kind of had a couple bad shots with throughout the round. She's also done some great shots with it.
Yeah,
absolutely. I mean, I can tell that's her trusting thrower deputy, but that time she really committed to the shot, and no doubt about that one also. She's in the circle.
Done.
An eagle from about, I'd say, 55 feet or so. Oh, yeah.
Huge putt from Eagle.
Oh, yeah. Side pocket right there, bottom of the basket. That's a huge momentum lifter there for Eagle.
Nice. After what happened last hole, he deserves it.
And
Paige, fantastic. She's not happy because it's a bogey, but what a putt.
She told me that she threw OB on all the par 3s and bogeyed them all. And I don't think she bogeyed them all, but maybe, I don't know, maybe she did. I don't know.
Not 14.
Not 14. But she would like to improve on. She's doing really well in the par 4s and par 5s. It's just the par 3s were giving her fits today. And Paul saves his 6. Not the score he was even thinking of.
Yeah, probably triple the score he was thinking of.
And this is a hole I have not birdied in many years, actually. And finally,
this position?
Yeah, in this position. Yeah. And finally connect there.
It's a nice get.
And going birdie on 16-17 after bogey par on 14-15 is a great way to turn things around.
Putting together a great round at 9 under.
Coke Zero is now Coke Zero Sugar, with great Coke taste. Some people were excited to hear the news, some were skeptical. So we're not going to have the star of the show you're watching come out and say, "You'll love it." No special jingle written by this week's hottest pop star. No famous internet celebs who happen to be holding the label just so. Okay, maybe just one little pour shot. The only thing that will make you believe Coke Zero Sugar has great Coke taste is trying it yourself. Ice cold Coke Zero Sugar. Try one today.
Hole 18. We are playing the par 3 position today at 399 feet uphill. Mandatory left of the tree, you can see there at the top. OB on the right and the left. Very, very tough birdie.
Yeah, if you didn't get enough with the difficult action on 17, we're moving to the second hardest hole in the course, the finishing hole, hole 18. I mean, 1-2 punch here to finish your round off. So this is one of those moments where I realize I'm at a good score here. I'm perfectly fine being 9 under. I'm not going for anything strange here. I just want to play a conservative shot. Kind of got close to the OB line, but sat down there and just get my par and walk out of here.
Can you even believe that he throws mid-range here?
It's silly, but it's just silly.
399 uphill.
Yeah, he comes up a bit short here. He did not come up short last year.
Yeah, he parked it.
He parked it last year.
I gotta think Paige is gonna play safe here.
Yeah, she's throwing putter off the tee again.
Very nicely done. That's not gonna do anything but just hit the perfect landing zone for the safe play. Paul with a T-bird in his hands, looking for a birdie.
He just got that turned over way too much, but fortunately it has enough angle that you're going to get that action right there. I mean, there was almost no doubt. It would have actually had to be bad luck for him to not scoot back in bounds.
Yep.
With that angle. And Paige's
layup.
Yep.
Makeable range, 20 feet.
Oh, yeah, it's inside 20 feet. Nate, give her some credit.
19 feet.
There you go. And that's got a... Okay, that's fine. A little bit... You don't want to finish with any hyzer on this hillside. Anything at hyzer is going to scoot down further than you'd like. And another factor is these putts are going to be looking right back in the sun. I mean, Eagle's trying to give it a little bit of a bid, and he does, but doesn't quite get enough height. And this is the tap in, the par, and finish the round at 9 under.
Nice round.
And that will set my personal best at 57, the lowest score I've ever shot at Winthrop.
That's great. You can kind of think of this as the final round you never had.
I kind of did count as that, so thank you for saying that. That kind of quiets a little bit of the murmurs that were going on.
Yeah, if there would have been one more round, he would have done a 57, folks.
And we're going to have 4 tap-in pars here.
It's a well-played hole. I mean, tough to get all the way up there and to have nobody a casualty of the out of bounds.
Yeah, there were only 8 birdies all day on the hole. There were quadruple bogeys, 2 triple bogeys, so a lot of different bad scores you can get on that one. Par's a great score to get away with.
Wow. All right, we see the placings. Germ first. That's not bad.
I like first.
And we've got 2 -8s, 2 -7s. I'm slotted in there on the second card. A lot of good scores coming in today.
It's always tight at the beginning, the first round. Second, third, and fourth rounds, we're going to see some crazy action. We're going to move to the B placements in round 2.
Thank you guys for joining us. Awesome to have everybody watching the coverage, and we will see you guys for round 2.